We are live at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas for the 2015 AT&T American Cup. It's the most prestigious annual international gymnastics competition on American soil, and the tradition continues today on NBC Sports. This is Al Trawick along with Nastia Liukin, who's won this event twice, Tim Daggett, who's an Olympic gold medalist like Nastia, and you're looking at the leader in the men's competition, and they're right at the halfway point. This is Donnell Wittenberg.
And this could be huge. As you said, he's got about a half-a-point lead on the field. He's supposed to do this super difficult vault. It's called a Dragulescu, named after the guy from Romania who did it first. It's super hard, double front with a half twist. He's had some problems with this lately, but the air can be monumental on this. Oh, wow! Yeah!
He's into it. The stage is immense today. The AT&T Stadium for the AT&T American Cup, and you're looking at the men's leader. Simone Biles is coming up as we take you now to our NBC studios for a sports update. Now it's just over a year until the world arrives in Rio de Janeiro for the Olympic Games. And in gymnastics, the double world champion is Texan Simone Biles. She's been so good. The hottest question in the sport is, can anyone beat Simone? We get an answer for now in the AT&T American Cup next. Get the gold medals ready. This is the AT&T American Cup for 2015, and we are live just outside of Big D, Dallas, Texas, deep in the heart of the Lone Star State. And you can see AT&T Stadium from miles away. It's the billion-dollar home of the Dallas Cowboys, and normally it's the home office for one quarterback named Tony Romo, but today he's got the day off. This is a gymnastics show on the same stage that he performs on. This place is absolutely immense. And Simone Biles is not intimidated by anything. And so far in one performance, she hasn't been intimidated by this amazing setting. Again, Al Trawick along with Nastia Liukin and Tim Daggett. And she just got through that vault like she's done it a million times, and she almost has.
She has probably done it hundreds of times, and this is what Simone Biles is so great for. Watch this vault, the amplitude she gets in this vault, sky high, and look at that landing. Almost a stick, just a tiny hop on the landing.
Yeah, it's absolutely off the charts. I mean, the only person that does it remotely like that is Michaela Maroney, who, of course, was the World Championships the last time around on that event. But it is just, look at how fast she gets her hands back and the heights. She just rockets off of that table. You know, you said it at the top, Al. Everybody's wondering, can anybody catch Simone Biles? The problem for the entire world right now is Simone isn't just standing where she's at. She's getting better and better.
You saw the green arrow pointing up. Green is a very good scorer no matter who you are. And she knows how to sell it with that smile. And her lead is almost a full point. And it's an American story. Michaela Skinner is in second place. And then it's Jessica Lopez and Emily Little with the prestige that has to come with what happens here today. Now here's what Michaela Skinner looked like to me. Now, this is just me. She looked nervous.
She did look a little bit nervous, and you know, she did start out with a great vault, a Yurchenko double twist, so not as difficult as Simone Biles just did. But you know, she did say, we talked to her earlier in the week, and she is more confident. She just came off the World Championships where Team USA did win the gold medal.
Well, you know, for Michaela right there, that's actually her second best vault. She does a more difficult one that even has a higher maximum that we saw than we saw from Simone. She crashed on that big time. First day of training here at the American Cup, so they go with the easier vault. It's still a good vault, but not potentially as anywhere near what Simone can do.
So that vault is right down the middle of the football field when the Cowboys play here. So Simone Biles has the lead, and we go now to the story on the men's side. A little bit of a rough start, I think you'd say, for Sam McCulloch.
Well, actually, the first piece of gymnastics he did was excellent, but since that point, it kind of went downhill. His first pass on floor exercise, though, beautiful, just about as well as it can be done. Sometimes you try to be a little too perfect, and right there, that was quick, but that's a full point deduction. And just dynamic power. Donnell Wittenberg. And look right there, he's a little bit off, probably jumbled his brain, catches a finger, and once again, he is 0 for 2 at that point. Donnell with a little bit of struggle on pommel horse. Somehow, he's able to keep it going. It was a little bit chunky and a little rough throughout the exercise, but he didn't come off. And with this landing right there, about a half a point ahead of the entire field.
So Wittenberg has the lead, and Oleg Vernayev in front of a pair of Japanese gymnasts. That's the limit of international competition, and for the Americans too. 2 gymnasts for any one country, and the prestige that's available for those gymnasts after Wittenberg is enormous.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the Japanese, you know, they are really serious about this. Oftentimes they come to the American Cup, they look a little bit unprepared. They look like they haven't adjusted to the time. They came in about a half a week earlier than everybody else to be on their game, and it's looked so at this point. Sam McCulloch goes 7th position after 3 events.
Claudia Fragapane from Bristol, England. She's among the leaders, has to keep it going here on the uneven bars.
This is not her best event. Right here, she has struggled with this immensely. A new release for her. Oh. And I saw her do that, I don't know, maybe 5, 7 times, just like that. I did see her catch the bar, but a full point deduction, you come off.
Nasia, you can speak to when something like this happens at a certain point of your routine, and it happens over and over and over again. It really has to get in your head.
It really does, and especially starting off the competition with a fall, it's not easy, but as Tim said, this is a brand new skill for her. She has not competed it before, so now she has to go back and alter that, but she really needs to move on before she goes to the balance beam.
So American Simone Biles has a lead of almost a point. Can she keep it going? She always seems to. This is the 2015 AT&T American Cup. The AT&T American Cup is brought to you by Hilton, the official hotel partner of USA Gymnastics. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Well, the American Cup looks different every year, but it has never looked like this. Some of the steer outside and the big spacious inside, but they say everything is bigger in Texas, and when you come to a place like this, you think that they're right about what they say. So this is an enormous stage for the sport of gymnastics. Al Troutwig, Tim Daggett, Nasia Lukin. And when she appeared on the scene, and she did so in a huge way, Simone Biles thought maybe perhaps she had the wrong birthday because Rio seemed so long away, but now it's next year. And she's there.
It is next year, and she is right there. There really is nobody in the world at this moment that can beat Simone Biles. And I don't know how she feels about that, but that is so exciting to be able to watch her be so dominant for 2 years in a row.
Tim, at the last World Championships, she made it look so easy, and I know it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. She does some of the most difficult gymnastics in the world. We saw this vault earlier. She's just able to do it phenomenally, and so does hard gymnastics, but just does it better than everybody else. She cut back a little bit on uneven bars. She is back to doing her harder routine, and her floor, you're gonna see it at the end tonight. It is off the charts. I mean, gymnastics experts around the world watch her and they're all shaking their head. It's like, how is it possible that she can be this much better than everybody else.
This is a home game for her. She's from Springs, Texas.
Now, if there is a place where Simone isn't as comfortable, it's on the uneven bars. She told me at one point she wanted to chainsaw every uneven bar in the nation. She says that only happens occasionally now. Okay, and this is the addition that she had taken out for the last World Championships. Right here and down to the low bar. Really good. And the thing is, she's got more difficulty in the bank. She can do a harder dismount than that, but see you later.
So Jordan Weber from London Success has announced her retirement. Ali Raisman and Gabby Douglas have said they're going to compete in an upcoming event in Italy. What does she say about going in back-to-back Olympic Games?
Well, you know, she said that I can't put words in their mouths and I can't speak for them, but I think when I'm done, I'm going to stay done and move on to more in my life and let the young girls take over, because I will have already had my moment.
Well, and here's that skill that she added back in, a pike to cotches to an immediate pack salto, and she does it with such ease. You would never think that this event would cause her any trouble. And finishing with the dismount, she does a full twisting double back, and Tim, as you said, she's capable of adding a whole nother twist and making it a double-double, which, you know, she may be adding that for Rio.
So once again, when they revamped the scoring in gymnastics, and it became very difficult even for the initiated to decide what was a good score and what wasn't, because all the apparatus are scored differently. So we tried to make it a little bit more illustrative by coming up with the green, yellow, and red. If you get a green score, considering deductions and everything else, you're doing fine. Yellow means be careful what you wish for, and red means no good.
And those are all deductions right there. So basically, if you're really clean, you're going to have that green, which she has right there. And to get that on uneven bars, that is big time for Simone Biles. The maximum score is what you do, the difficulty in the exercise, and then from a 10.0, you have the deductions.
In second place right now is Simone Biles' teammate, Michaela Skinner.
And just like Simone, this is the event where Michaela struggles a little bit, but right off the bat, she has added a brand new combination, the shapash to an immediate pack salto.
You see, from time to time, her legs come apart. It's what she struggles with and says spends her majority of the time just trying to fix these little form breaks that actually show up on the uneven bars, most for Michaela. But a very solid routine. It was good, not as good as we just saw from Simone, and those slight little form breaks throughout, but actually, for Michaela, a very strong routine on the uneven bars.
Over to Sam McCulloch. See if he can salvage something out of his day. What have the gymnasts told you about being in a place this big?
Well, you know, the thing that's funny is it's not just the talk about it, but they get done with the turn and they look at this monstrous 60-yard screen, and it's like everybody just can't believe it to see themselves. Like, Sam is up on the big screen right now, and it's gigantic, and they have all been watching themselves throughout the week in training. It's crazy.
And not to mention the crowd goes wild to see them that up close and personal.
You know what he told me about the screen? He said that would be so cool to play Super Smash Brothers on that. And Al, that's a video game.
Thanks, Tim. No idea.
I'm with you, Al. I don't know.
Here we go. Big balls. And you know what? He struggled on his first two events. Still rings was really good for him, and that is excellent. The question is going to be, are some of the guys that are on the top, are they going to open the door for him? He needs for them to fall because he's already fallen twice. This is very difficult. It's 3 twists off the table, a little bit of knees in the air, but that right there, fantastic landing. You know, sometimes when Sam gets a mistake out of the way, he's really, really tough. He has that mistake and it just loosens him up a little bit.
He has the most amazing upbeat attitude.
No, he really does. And that's a big score on vaulting right there.
More.
And that would be green for good.
Now we go to Vanessa Ferrari, who has been on the scene. We're talking about the 2006 all-around world champion. So 9 years after that.
You know, and yeah, I mean, I competed against her then, and she's still going. And the amazing thing is she's really been getting better since her world championship win. She hasn't won a world title since, but her gymnastics has improved.
No, absolutely. When she first started out, she was kind of a daredevil, had a lot of power, but she's really refined her gymnastics. Another solid routine.
We will get Ferrari's score in a moment. You know, some people have joked about Simone Biles that the only thing that could knock her off the podium was a B. At the World Championships, she received her bouquet, and there was a B in the bouquet, and it scared her. Here's her explanation.
I was really scared because I've never been stung by a bee before, so I didn't want to get stung because I have a feeling like it would be me that would be allergic and like have an allergic reaction. So I was like, okay, get away.
We're back live at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, the London Olympics. It was stunning to see where Gabrielle Douglas came from, and then to see that happen with the gold medal around her neck. In a moment, Nastia will explain how hard it is to go back to those Olympic Games. What about Gabby Douglas's plan? Here's Andrea Joyce.
Al, I spoke to Gabby on the phone yesterday, and boy, you could hear the excitement in her voice. She admitted that there is some frustration on a day-to-day basis, but for the most part, very, very pleased with her progress. Estimates that she's back to about 80 to 85%. Now, since July, she's been with Kitty Carpenter at Buckeye Gymnastics in Columbus, Ohio. And as we mentioned, she is on the roster for that competition in Italy later in the month, but she will first have to go back to camp and prove to Marta Caroli that she's ready for that competition. Both Kitty and Gabby told me they have no doubt that she'll pass that test and she'll be back on the competition floor. And Al, Gabby says that makes her feel like a kid again.
Okay, this is a very difficult road. I was there in 1988 and watched Tim Daggett try to pull it off. That resulted in tremendous pain. Nastia, you tried to do it. It was very, very hard physically. How would you describe it to someone?
You know, it is tough, and I think nobody can really understand it unless you've been in that situation. But I think more than anything, and I can feel Gabby, you know, it's like you miss that performance of gymnastics. You miss being out there at something like the AT&T Stadium with thousands of people out there, and I know that's exactly what she's so excited to get back out there and do.
Tim, from a human standpoint, it's just not easy to accept the fact that in your 20s, there's some things that you can't do like you used to.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny, the word that everybody says is, I retired. And I remember saying that, you know, to gymnastics people, and they got it, and you tell other people, and they're like, you're retired, you're 25 years old. What are you talking about? Right. But I believe it hasn't been since Nadia Comaneci in 1980. She made it back to the Olympic Games. She didn't win again, but it is a tall order to get accomplished.
Okay, so that's an all-around story as far as she is concerned. We'll take a break here as we continue live in AT&T Stadium for the 2015 AT&T American Cup. Simone Biles coming up. She's in front. Back live in Arlington, Texas. Let's update first the women's standings. Simone Biles has a 1.3 lead after just 2 apparatus. She's amazing. From the University of Denver and Venezuela, Jessica Lopez behind her. And American Michaela Skinner is in third in front of Italy's Erika Fasana. The men's story is again an American one at the top, Donnell Wittenberg, Oleg Vernayev, and then 2 Japanese gymnasts, Ryohei Kato and Yosuke Tanaka, followed by Sam Mikulak, who's thinking comeback.
Yeah, he is. But I tell you, if Donnell Wittenberg wins this, this is his biggest win of his entire life. I say it all the time. If you're an American gymnast, there are things you want to do. You want to win a national title. You want to go to the Olympics. You want to win a medal. You want to win one at Worlds. But you also want to win the American Cup. It is a huge goal.
You did it. Nastia did it twice. Donnell's lead is half a point.
Probably his trickiest skill. A little bit under on that. Right here. Going to go now to 1 bar. It does that well, does that well. Watch the power. You don't ever hear people say this guy's so powerful on parallel bars, but Donnell is.
Well, he's built like a football player. I mean, he could be DeMarco Murray.
Absolutely.
Well, as much strength as he has, he definitely has to have some control to be able to maintain those handstands.
Almost missed a hand there, but he has looked calm and cool. Big dismount, double front, half twist. Wow.
That was a stick, wasn't it?
No.
No?
Almost.
No. I mean, he's going to say to his coach, Vitaly Marinich, he's going to say, that was a stick, right? And Vitaly's, in this setting, he'll probably say, yeah, oh yeah.
Sure.
No, it wasn't, but. So once again, watch the power. Double back flip from that upper arm position. So hard to do. Makes it look very, very easy. And watch the height here. Another release skill. So here comes the dismount right here. And you got to stay still. You got to show complete control. You see his toes lift off the ground. And those judges, they know.
Hold on. When I do my dismount like that,
I'll applaud you.
It's a stick, okay? Over the women, the balance beam. This is Natsumi Sasada.
From a gymnastics family.
Right off the bat, she's going to do a tricky skill, round off to a layout. Very nice.
Natsumi was 8th after the last rotation.
Talked to her about her family in gymnastics. Her dad is retired now, and he volunteers for the Japanese Gymnastics Association. Her mom was a world team member and competed in the World Championships right down the road, 1979 in Fort Worth, Texas.
So it's in her blood, this sport. Did you believe that you were destined to do what you did because of your DNA?
No, you know, I think besides being in your blood, it takes so much hard work.
Oh.
A little off on that sheep jump. But, you know, the Japanese men have been so dominant over the years, and the Japanese women are finally starting to really be able to compete with the rest of the world and making the team finals at the World Championships.
Says her favorite gymnast is Aliya Mustafina from Russia. She says she doesn't make mistakes at critical times. And she was pretty error-free on that, but it's not the type of dynamics that you need to get that big score. You'll see some of that in a little bit.
Donnell Wittenberg's score is a little cautionary tale there with the yellow, 15.4.
But he has such a high potential score, high maximum score, that it's not going to really hurt him that much.
Now on parallel bars for Japan, Yusuke Tanaka.
Over to parallel bars, Yusuke Tanaka.
won a bronze medal at the last World Championships and was a member of the silver medal winning team in 2014. I talked to both of the Japanese gymnasts because it was very controversial in the gymnastics world. Most people thought the Japanese were going to win it, and it was in China. Initially, both of them said it was really hard to take, but they went back home. They looked at the videotape and they said the Chinese deserved to win. We had too many errors.
Boy, the emotion in that room that day was amazing.
Also a gymnastics family. His older brother, Olympian, world champion. His sister, Olympian. Very solid routine for Yasuki right there.
So we continue live on NBC. The 2015 AT&T American Cup. Tanaka's score on the parallel bars, 15.466.
Very good score.
And Sasada on the balance beam, a 14.2. Oleg Vernayev of Ukraine is up next, and he brings a certain stature to this event, the parallel bars. He is the world champion.
You know, this kid, he truly is a born gymnast. Everybody likes him. He's not the most talented, just a super hardworking, super nice guy.
Kato on the right, Danelle Leyva of the United States on the left for silver and bronze. And right here, he's looking at being on the podium in this American Cup.
I said, so what's changed since you're the world champion on parallel bars? He says, oh, sometimes I get a nice pat on the back. That's it.
Just had surgery in December, so this is actually his first competition back since then.
Was very successful after the World Championships, has been winning just about everything. This is very difficult right there, going from one bar. Has great form on parallel bars and nice skill. That's actually called a Bapsar, named after U.S. Olympian Raj Bapsar. Does that very well. Another big dismount right here. A little bit of a hop on the landing. A good set, not quite as clean as I've seen him do it in the past, but that routine is just jam-packed with difficulty.
Now remember that shot of the three medalists. Kato was the Japanese gymnast on the right, and right now Kato and Vernayev are separated by less than a tenth of a point. So this is one little fingernail out of joint, and you got a problem.
So this is so tricky right here. Watch, he goes to one bar, which is hard enough, super hard to balance, and then does this skill. It's called a Healy out of it, a full spin on one arm. Very, very difficult. Dismount could have been a little bit better. Didn't quite have the height that he typically gets. His shoulders get a little too far forward. Spots the ground right there, though. Little sloppy, as you can see, and he kind of locks that right knee, and it makes him take that slide back on the landing.
We'll get Vernayev's score as we continue here. Live in Arlington at AT&T Stadium. This is the American Cup. Again, there's the two-time world champion, Simone Biles from Texas, in Texas. And she's two routines away from reconfirming what everybody knows, that she's the it girl.
And you know, Simone Biles told me that when Marta Karolyi finally noticed her, she said, then I knew that the dream was possible. Marta Karolyi, the national team coordinator, she has been the brains behind this operation, and success that's off the chart right next to her, another person on the committee, Steve Rybecki. Together, they plan the strategy, they plan what time breakfast is, they plan every moment of these athletes' day.
Look at that shot.
In training, I thought Simone looked a little bit more stable than I've seen her. This very tricky, makes it look so easy. The power and strength you need to be able to do that on the beam and control it. Really big. Just a little bit tentative on that. Is a little careful going from one move to another. She'll lose some connection, but.
And watch this combination right here. It's going to be 3 elements in a row. Back handspring layout, immediate layout, perfect.
Really good, really, really good. Oh. Mistake, but it's certainly not going to derail this competition for her, that's for sure.
But what really seals this beam routine is coming up right here, the dismount. Probably the hardest dismount in the world.
And she does it better than anyone. Full twisting double somersault, the hop forward on the landing. But she is not happy because of that one major balance check. Coach Amy Borman right there. They've been together since just about the beginning.
I think she's hurt.
And she's got her hand on her back, and
starts her routine with 2.5 turns. Beautiful. That's very hard to do, especially in that position.
This is beautiful though, right here. 3 skills in a row. Great extension. Look at her jump in the air and just very nice positions. 4 inches wide. Look for that beam. Put your feet down exactly like that. Can't do that any better.
And here's a little balance check she had here. Watch, she turns, her hips were a little off, and her back foot came off the beam. You know, it wasn't terrible, but she will lose a few tens for that.
And of course, this mount right here, done in combination, which makes it even harder. Most people do a double back, but she adds a full twist on it.
She gets higher off that beam than most girls get on the floor exercise.
Get her score and see if that was a problem with her back or not. She's going to finish up on the floor exercise. And we go to floor exercise. Parallel bars. Daniel Purvis. One of the most enjoyable days, Tim, that we've spent covering this sport in the 15 years that we've been doing it was the day the British men with the princess there and the whole deal when they won the bronze. That was awesome in London.
Yes, it was. So much energy in the O2. He was, of course, part of that team. Historic for Great Britain. 10 years ago, honestly, Great Britain wasn't even on the map for gymnastics, and they have really transitioned. They have a junior program that is, in a lot of ways, might be one of the top in the world. Actually, a U.S. team is in Great Britain right now at a joint training camp and a friendly competition where the USA did prevail with gymnasts like Donnell Leyva and Jake Dalton. Well, it was a good routine. You know, it didn't have the difficulty of someone like we saw Oleg Vernayev from Ukraine, but a solid exercise.
Simone Biles is given a 15.066, and she will easily stay in the lead.
Absolutely. And you know what? Her best is yet to come.
Her teammate, Michaela Skinner. She was in 3rd after the 2nd rotation.
Which isn't worrisome at all. Jessica Lopez right ahead of her, and she's, you know, a fine gymnast, but if you look at the two events that are remaining, Michaela certainly has a little bit more. This is super hard. Watch this. Full twist. Oh, gosh. Oh. That was close. A great fight, and you got to be proud of the fight, but when it's visible, it's deductible. You know, I mentioned earlier that Simone has a different outlook. She said when she's done, she's going to be done and let the younger ones have their time. I asked Michaela about it, and she said actually the likes of Gabby Douglas and Allie Raceman, with them coming back, that has been a motivation for her. It's inspired her to be a little bit better, to be a little more focused, work a little bit harder.
So Nastia, how much did she save by not actually coming off the beam?
Well, she did save quite a few points, or a few tenths, excuse me. You know, if you fall off the beam, it would be a full point, but that was a pretty big wobble. You know, it would be, I would say, close to 5/10 of a point.
So here is Michaela Skinner and her save in the middle.
So hard, though, in combination. This is a back with a full. Saw her do this perfect in warm-ups, but just doesn't quite have both feet on the beam. That leg goes up, and every time you circle your arms around, it's potentially more deductions.
Right from the beginning, you see as soon as she took off for that back full, her shoulders were already to the right side of the beam. Very impressive that she was able to stay on the beam.
Daniel Purvis' score on the parallel bars, 15.033. We'll get Michaela's score as we continue live here at AT&T Stadium. This is the American Cup. Back live in Texas, it's an American story in the women's American Cup competition. A cautious number of 13.533, but Michaela Skinner saved it. And because she saved it, it helped her stay in second place behind Simone Biles, who leads by more than 3 points. Donnell Wittenberg of the United States has the lead in the men's story, but it's very, very close. Let's go back, Nastia Liukin, and take a look at this vault that you two love so much. What is it that makes it so good?
Well, there's so much that makes it so good, but right off the bat, you'll see on the table, you'll see that repulsion and really how high she gets. She gets higher, she goes up here, and just keeps going higher and higher.
But she gets her hands back on that table so quick, and she's so extended. She's not really pushing, she's just rebounding. Little bit of cross in the air. That's a 1/10 of a point right there. You see those feet are crossed? But this is the other explanation mark. It is a great landing, and she does this over and over again. That's about as close to a stick as you can get, but those mean judges, they're still gonna take a 10th.
So she's got the big lead, probably pointing out where her family is sitting.
Yep, she talked to her earlier this week. She said she had about 200 people, friends,
Is that all?
family, that's all.
Yeah.
So she's not pointing to somebody, she's pointing to a section.
Yeah.
She probably is.
She said you'll probably be able to see them because I think they're all gonna come wearing the same thing.
Possibly Team Simone shirts.
Yeah, they're not looking at, but that's where they are.
So now Vanessa Ferrari
Alexis Torres Serrano of Puerto Rico.
with the Olympic rings tattooed on her neck.
Now on balance beam for
You know, when I
Italy,
talked with her
Vanessa
before the
Ferrari.
competition, I asked her, so what keeps you going? You know, and you know, you were so successful. You were at the very top of the sport. 2006, it's 2015 now, in a sport that doesn't favor the older athletes, women's gymnastics. It just doesn't. It gets harder. She says that she is most proud of what happened last year, winning a medal on floor exercise at the World Championships. She said, I know what it was like to be the best in the world. It was easy for me then. This time, it takes so much more energy. It takes way more work, a lot of therapy, and it's more important to me, and that's what I crave, and that is why I am continuing on to Rio.
Last year, she finished 5th in this event.
Here's her dismount. She'll do a double pike flip.
And I'll tell you, she just keeps chugging along. You know, it did have a couple of little hiccups in there, some slight balance checks, but it's just, it's a very solid exercise, time and time again, from Vanessa Ferrari.
As I'll tell you what, with a big score here, Sam McCullough could be very close. He loves to work the crowd. He's got a good-looking smile. He's a fantastic teammate. Got off to a slow start.
Won this event last year, but it was parallel bars in the same rotation that he struggled on. Almost gave it away. And these are the most critical skills for him right here. That one he has had just tremendous difficulties with. His grip has been an issue. Very nice. A little bit of a slip on that giant skill, but dismount double front, very nice landing. Looks like he got all his problems out of the way in those first 2 rotations. That was very good for Sam. He can be a little bit better, but a solid exercise.
So we'll get Sam McCullough's score. Give me a rough idea. What do you think he's going to get?
Well, I think he's going to get in the 15s for sure.
Okay, so that puts him right on the edge of the podium. He's smiling. He thinks that was a good thing. And it was. A lot of respect between these 2 teams. Jessica Lopez, a rare female gymnast, born in 1986, still going at it at the age of 29. And she's next. Money, scandal, power, and Elizabeth Hurley. I'm in. It's E's deliciously dramatic new original series about a fictional modern-day British royal family. Don't miss The Royals, premiering March 15th at 10, only on E. Actually had snow here a couple of days ago here in Texas, if you can believe it. But if you're from the Northeast, you can believe anything about snow. So Sam McCullough, a 14.933, and it's not going to put him where I thought a big score might. On the balance beam, Ferrari got a 13.866. And now Jessica Lopez, at the age of 29, she needs a 12.966 to hold second place. That sounds like it's very doable.
Yeah, definitely, especially for her on the balance beam. She's always showed really great control. But she came in to Texas this week battling a little bit of a fever and said she hadn't been feeling too well, a little bit low in the energy. So we'll see how she can handle that today.
But very popular in the gymnastics circles. Her gymnastics fans affectionately refer to her as J-Lo.
That's funny.
And she's another athlete that, you know, when she was younger, when gymnasts are typically in their prime, she wasn't really that good. She has continually gotten better.
She started gymnastics, Tim, the year after you retired, when she was 3.
Oh, boy. And remember, it's a full point, so that 12.9 or so she needed just becomes much, much more difficult. Beautiful combination right there. That side aerial, she doesn't put her foot down, goes right into a leap. Competed at both the 2008 and the 2012 Olympic Games. She was 18th in London in the all-around.
With a round off and a 2.5 twist. She's adding a back handspring and does a double twist, so she's a little bit of a different dismount than she had planned. And here's the fall that she had. Let's take a look. A really tricky combination. She does 2 back handsprings. The second one you see with 2 feet into an immediate layout. Just was, you know, from this angle didn't seem too far off, but you know,
those hips and shoulders, though, if they are outside that perfect line of the balance beam, it is, sometimes it doesn't look like they're off, but if you are, your hips are a little bit skewed, you're coming down.
No room for error with 4 inches.
She needed a 12.966 to hold second place. We'll get that in a moment. Ryohei Kato now, Japan.
He was runner-up to King Kohei Uchimura at the 2013 World Championships in the all-around. I said, everybody around the world is trying to catch Kohei. Are you trying to catch him? And he laughed and said, the Japanese team, both of them, they just kept coming back. You know, I'd push them on, you know, what are you looking for individually? And their mantra, all that they want is a team title come Rio. It has been elusive for them.
And they wear their hair like Uchimura, right?
Yeah, they do. Well, when you're considered by many the greatest that's ever been, he won his 7th national title, and he did them in a row for Japan. It's just craziness. Beautiful routine so far. He's a light gymnast, makes everything look easy, very, very clean. Another nice release skill. Double pike, and once again you see those toes roll up. His hips are too far in back of his center of gravity. Has to take that step.
Lopez did it. 13.166. She's still in second place. Just made it.
Wow, that's amazing. Imagine without the fall.
And we'll be back live here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, but first we head to our NBC Sports Studios for an update. Back live in the home of the Dallas Cowboys, and so far no one has been able to keep up with Simone Biles. Her teammate Michaela Skinner is hanging on by about 6/10 to a bronze medal finish, and Jessica Lopez, 29-year-old, in second place right now. And the men's story is being written by that man so far, Donnell Wittenberg. Both the men and the women are headed toward the final rotation here. His lead over Oleg Vernayev, the world champion, 35 thousandths of a point. Michaela Skinner, it's Ellie Black, Elizabeth Black.
And you know, she was part of the 2012 Olympic team in London that for Canada made it to the team finals, ended up 5th, their best finish ever. And what a proud group of girls that was, had the meet of their lives.
King of the Mountain format, the leaders will go last.
First appearance for her at the American Cup. She said this was always a goal to be invited to compete at the AT&T American Cup, and she had a great performance right there.
A lot of difficulty. Was a little bit back, 6th in the all-around after 3 rotations.
Ellie actually started as a child as a figure skater and then said it was way too cold for her and she wanted to flip. Made the transition into gymnastics.
Now Daniel Purvis, the big redhead from Great Britain.
And he has been, I'm sure, a little disappointed. And well, he almost pinged off the bar right there. Was 8th after 5 full rotations. Showed some very nice gymnastics and spots today, but disaster on vaulting for Daniel. Very classical gymnast, though. Says he emulates the Japanese gymnasts because they make everything look so elegant. He aspires to that same level. And typically he pulls it off very well. That was a good routine except for that little mishap at the start, but he's going to go home to Great Britain and be a little bit disappointed. Like I said, he struggled on vaulting, had the lowest score, 13.8 of any of the men.
Now on floor
Elizabeth Black gets a 14.3. Here's Natsumi Sasada, who was 8th after 3 rotations.
Oh boy. Once again, it's brutal. That is a full point off. Sasada is a very good gymnast. She just has not looked as fresh. And like I said earlier, the Japanese men, they got here basically a week ago. She did not make that trip. She did the normal travel time, and I just think it's too much, too soon. Got here Tuesday night, late, and just, it's really hard to recover.
Well, not the way she wanted to finish her competition here.
on high
trip.
It is. I've done it, you know, and I've competed over there.
And in this direction.
Yes, absolutely.
Daniel Purvis gets only a 14.3.
I think they might have come in Wednesday night. Her coach, there's her coach right there, and she was really, I said, what day did you get here? I know the men got here about a week ago, and she was like, Tuesday, I think. But I actually think it might be Wednesday.
And this is what went wrong right from the beginning. She does a round off to a back 1.5, and when you see she punches, she just doesn't get the height and the amplitude and the rotation really to get her shoulders over the rest of her body.
And this looks really nice. It's a double pike. It's hard at the end, but look at her chest when she lands. You see, it is almost pinned to her legs, and that, you know, if they do it right, that's 5/10 off as well.
We'll get her score in a moment. Emily Little of Australia is next.
She competed at the 2012 Olympic Games, then actually took 2.5 years off, and this is her first competition back after only training for 7 months.
You know what she did in that time? She actually started acrobatic gymnastics and powerlifting. She went into powerlifting, and one of her goals at one point was to compete in the Commonwealth Games. She said she still does it a little bit, and the powerlifting has helped tremendously, especially here on floor exercise with that leg strength. Wow, that was fantastic. She's right.
Step out of bounds will cost her a 10th of a point.
Good stuff. Lots of power. Lots of power. And she told me that, you know, after 2012, she said, I didn't know who I was as a person. I just needed to kind of live a life. She said, one of the things I wanted to do, I wanted to work in a coffee shop. And she said, I was so excited to do that for about 10 minutes. and then she said, it's hard
work
to
in a coffee shop?
Yeah, she said she just wanted to interact with people, but look at the power. Remember, she did this power lifting, and she said it helps her legs, and that is fantastic. That's a full twisting double somersault. First flip laid out, second piked.
And immediately after that, she does the same tumbling pass, but in a tuck position, which actually she has a little bit more power and rotation, which causes her to step out of bounds a little bit with one foot, which will cost her a 10th. Nothing too terrible, but you know, you need all those 10ths everywhere you can get them.
Just really capitalizes. You see that body position when she landed, as opposed to Sasada. Her chest was a little bit more up. Still would have been a 10th of a point, but really, really good exercise. Some of the creativity in the dance, she might lose a little bit for that, but the athletic part of it, tremendous.
Sasada, the Japanese gymnast, a 12.2 on her floor exercise score, so not good.
Come on, Frank.
Go, Claudia.
And while waiting for her score, Claudia Fragapane. 9th after the last rotation.
She said, my goal is to live my dreams and do every single big event. And this is another tick off my list. She was just infatuated with being here at the AT&T Stadium. She's planning on doing a very difficult routine, lots of tumbling and finishing with a double layout. I said, really? She said, yeah, I'm gonna try. Oh, jeez. That looked like it hurt. Oh boy. This is where that very difficult and new element, I don't know. Oh, jeez, yeah, that's, oh. And I tell you, you can't even envision what that feels like on your ankles and your feet. That wasn't even close.
Emily Little of Australia gets a 13.7.
Got a big award this year. She was the BBC's Young Sports Personality of the Year. Very big deal over there. So this dismount, which I said was new, and she told me she was going to do it after 3 tumbling passes, and I said, really? That's awfully hard. She already had fallen, which makes it even harder, and there is no height on that at all, and just crash. Oh, God. If I did that when I was competing, I wouldn't have walked for a month. I mean, I don't know how she walked off without limping. Ow.
You may have heard the crowd in the background. That's because Sam McCulloch was cheering them on to cheer for him. The California kid, NCAA champion, in 5th place.
And Al, the first day of training, there was just so much controversy. Everybody likes the bar a little bit differently. They adjust the cables, tighten them, loosen them, and Sam was having a very hard time. Actually smashed his head on the bar on this skill right here. Perfect. One more. Took his meat for the last 4 events. He has been great. You just can't start off. 2 falls in the hole in gymnastics. Fell on floor, fell on pommel horse. Typically, Sam is one of the best in the world at landings.
Well, the crowd always loves the high bar, and he loves the crowd. And what do you think, Tim? Gauge the math. Did he make it up to the podium or not?
I think it's going to be really challenging, no question about it. But that was a super difficult exercise, very well executed.
Hey, good luck, man. Get after it.
It's just basically he's going to need some of the competitors ahead of him to fall. That's the skill, that he just clipped the side of his head in that training. No signs of anything wrong here. Dismount, 2 flips, 2 twists, 1 piece of air. Small hop on the landing, but a very, very good routine from his 3rd event on today. Sam
No,
Mikulak.
good note.
Absolutely.
He said, finished on a good note. That indeed. Still to come in this last rotation. Can Simone Biles seal the deal like she always does?
The Biles is a AA half out, and it's called the Biles because I was the first person to do it in a World Cup event. And that's really cool to have something named after me and have it stay in the history of gymnastics, but it's kind of weird because every time I do it, I say, oh, I'm going to do a AA half out. I never say, oh, I'm going to go do the Biles, so it's still weird to me.
And there she is live getting set to go on floor exercise. Al Troutwig, Nastia Lukin, Tim Daggett. I guess it is a little weird to talk about yourself almost in the third person when you're about to do your Biles or whatever.
It really is, and I just saw her do it in the warm-up, and she actually added a Sassone jump out of it, trying to get even, lose the tense for maybe taking a step after it, but she shows such control. It's absolutely incredible.
I would think that that's a big thing in gymnastic circles, to have your own move.
Yeah, it's really big. At one point in time, there were 2 moves in the code named a Daggett. They took them both out. I guess there's a date expiration.
No. Once they're shown in black and white, they don't count anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
So how's Donnell Wittenberg set up to help pull this out? His lead is about as small as it can get.
Absolutely, and unfortunately for Donnell, his weakest event is high bar. He has struggled with this event. His power really doesn't play well on high bar. More of a swinging type element, but he's capable of getting the job done. He's got some serious competition though. Actually, Oleg Vernayev, who's right behind him, his weakest event is high bar as well. So it's going to come down to who hits.
So a very slim lead in an event that he absolutely wants in a huge way. So he's going to be feeling it.
Oh, there's no question about it. But I gotta say, watching him today, I have never seen him look as on, and I've never seen him look quite as comfortable.
And Nastia, what do you love about this floor exercise routine that we're about to see from Simone?
Well, nobody does the floor exercise better than Simone. Every single tumbling pass. And what she told Tim and I earlier this week is she has a tumbling pass planned at the very end that is so difficult. She won't do it here, a double layout. She'll end with something a little bit easier, but she has even more up her sleeve than we've seen before.
I mentioned earlier that it's the King of the Mountain format. It is to a point. What they do is they split the field in half and then reshuffle the deck. So if you're the leader, you may not go last, but you'll go in the second to last group. So here we go on the men's high bar. And this is Oleg Vernayev. He needs better than a 13.067.
But all of the other gymnasts that have gone are the lower ranked gymnasts. Remember, he is less than a tenth of a point behind Wittenberg, and then it spreads out just a little bit, about 5/10 behind Oleg is Kato from Japan.
Okay, the difference between him and Wittenberg, 35 thousandths of a point. So what is that, maybe one finger off the bar at some point?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. So the places where things can go wrong are releases like that. That was very well done. Now this should go right to a handstand here. And he connects. Excellent job so far. Doesn't do those same high-flying releases that we saw from Sam.
But you see everything just lands right in the handstand, exactly where it's supposed to be. A little bit low on that one.
Okay, but this is the best routine I've ever seen Oleg do on high bar. Dismount, great in the air, double-double and a stuck landing. Well, he cannot do any better than that. Beautiful exclamation point to a routine. Gymnastics 101. Fly high, bam, stick that dismount. That's a great exercise.
You know, right after the Sochi Games, there was that invasion by Russia into Ukraine. It threw that country into who knows what kinds of chaos. And any little bit of good news you can send home, I would imagine, is a powerful feeling.
Now on floor exercise for Venezuela, Jessica Lopez.
So it's Jessica Lopez at 29.
She fell off beam in her last event, but still managed to hold on to that second spot. Just a little bit in front of Michaela Skinner, who we'll see in a minute.
Jessica just got a brand new floor routine, and you know that's also what the judges are really looking for. Not only the tumbling and the amplitude on that, but the artistry and the grace and really dancing with the music, and she does a great job at doing that.
You get to do that pretty soon, don't you, Nastia?
Sure do.
Jessica Lopez gets through her American Cup. Now we're getting down to it. We're here the rest of the way in Arlington, Texas. And Vernayev has pretty much hit it out of the ballpark.
Absolutely, that is a tremendous score for him. 15.066, he is in the caution yellow area, but for him on high bar, that's a home run.
Now Tanaka
Now on high bar
was
for
the
Japan,
9th and final spot after the last rotation. I'm sorry, wrong. He was 4th, excuse me.
And you know, coming in, I love this young man's gymnastics. It is so elegant and makes it look so easy. He came off on pommel horse, which was very, very surprising. Been holding his own since then. So you'll see a big release right here. Same one we saw from Sam Mikulak. Beautiful pirouetting skills. Right to a handstand. Oh, so hard. Everybody thinks Kohei does high bar cleaner than anybody else in the world, but this guy right here, he is in the same category. Really, really hard gymnastics, done really, really well. Oh my goodness.
Well, you know who really noticed that stumble? Sam Mikulak.
Absolutely. Boy, that was surprising right there. That was a full point off. So Sam Mikulak is going to move ahead of Yasuki Tanaka. That was odd because it just looked like he misjudged that, because I don't think he was all that winded.
And the score for Jessica Lopez, a 13.266.
That'll
put her in front for now, but there are 3 more gymnasts to go. This is Erica Fasana of Italy. She needs better than a 14.132 to take the lead, with Simone Biles still to come.
very powerful tumbler as well.
She'll start with a double layout.
Well, Italy had a great World Championships in 2014. They finished 5th in the team competition, their 2nd best placing ever. I asked her, is it possible for you to get up onto the podium as a team? And she said, I don't think it's possible, but every day we go to the gym and we try.
Tanaka, a 14.566. And that is really good news for Sam Mikulik. That is a red score to be sure. Well, he's been in the World Championships. He's won a bronze medal in the Worlds. But individually, this is a pretty big deal for Donnell Wittenberg.
Absolutely, without a doubt. And the thing he's got going for him is, like I said, he has looked so calm today. But he has got to be about as good as he has ever been. He doesn't have a super high maximum potential score, the starting score.
Okay, so Vernayev got a 15.066. They were separated by 35 thousandths of a point. So Wittenberg, when you do the math, needs better than a 15.031.
Going to be really, really tough. Really tough. If he opens the door at all, has even the smallest mistake. That was great. A little bit of a leg separation there. That was done nice. Let's just finish right in a handstand, and that one does not. A little bit under on that one as well. Dismount double-double. Small hop on the landing, but I don't know, from what I've seen from the other scores, getting in the act, this is a very shy kid, too.
But, you know, I think regardless of the outcome, he proved to the entire country, the selection committee, everybody, that you can count on him. He went out there, had, you know, a little mistake, but he finished strong.
Well, when that score goes up, you're going to be able to tell with the crowd reaction which way this goes. Remember, they were only 35 thousandths of a point apart. That little leg separation could have been the beginning of his undoing. Now Simone Biles. She leads by more than 3 points.
And she's going to lead by a heck of a lot more after this routine right here. Her opening tumbling run is phenomenal. It's new for her. And nobody does it remotely. She does this better than any guy I've seen do it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Easily added another twist to that. Coming up here is the Biles. The double layout with a half turn.
That is another prize for her trophy case. She is the 2015 American Cup champion.
Saskia, there are so many little moments in there that I love. They're so unique. The way she gets to her feet, the dismount at the end, really special.
No, there really is nobody. I know we keep saying this, but there really is nobody in the world right now that can tumble as high as she can. And that, like you just said, Al, she puts together the entire package.
Thank you.
So watch this. She is changing the light bulbs here at AT&T Stadium. She just gets so high. I asked her, I said, do you know how mad you make everybody else in this sport by how great you tumble? And this is that Biles that's named after her. Beautiful jump out of it. I said, you know you're not normal, right? And she goes, yeah, I know.
Thank you.
Now, let's go get the score for Daniel Wittenberg, and he's going to just miss. Oleg Vernaya was better to the eye.
He was better. There's no question. Daniel had a great competition today. His maximum score wasn't good enough, but you see that 14.366, the yellow, that's caution. And like I said, he needed to be great. He needed to be better than he's ever been. The judges got that right, though.
Yeah.
So the Ukrainian in front, Sam Mikulik in third. Simone Biles will watch now her teammate go. Kato still to come, and he needs better than a 15.632 to win. Well, that's
a very big number.
Yeah.
It's possible. He's going to have the potential score to do it. But once again, just like Daniel, he's got to have the routine of a lifetime. Again, though, it's not about the individual titles for these guys. He used a very strong word, saying how much they want to beat the Chinese. He said, we are desperate to win. Big release right here. Nicely done. Look for the handstand, and that was short right there. That should be at least a 3/10 of a point deduction. 3/10 of a point that I don't think he's got. Dismount, one step backwards. That's probably a 1/10 step, but I would have to say that that is not going to be enough. It shouldn't be enough. The way they've judged, he had that one error in the middle of the exercise that was at least 3/10, maybe even 5/10 out because the angle didn't finish in a handstand position. It's going to get a good score, but it should not get that 15.632 that he needs.
Still waiting on Simone Biles' score. Her teammate Michaela Skinner is getting set to go on floor exercise. There she is.
I have no idea what they could be talking about, the floor judges.
And this is another big routine for Michaela. This is where she really excels on the floor exercise.
She does a double twisting, double somersault in the laid out position. got that one around.
So Skinner needs a 13.466 for second place. It is official. Cotto falls short. Vernayev is going to win the men's championship here in Arlington, Texas. And Simone Biles is going to win on the women's side. We'll hear from her with Andrea Joyce when we come back on NBC after this. The AT&T American Cup is brought to you by Hilton, the official hotel partner of USA Gymnastics, and by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Final results here at the 2015 AT&T American Cup. Oleg Vernayev pulled it out in the final rotation. Ryohei Kato silver, Donnell Wittenberg the bronze, and Sam Mikulik just misses. We can tell you that the women's champion is Simone Biles, and she is with Andrea Joyce.
Well, Al, Simone has had so much success over the last couple of years, but talk about what this win means to you, doing this in your home state in front of so many friends and family.
It's really exciting because a lot of my friends and family haven't got to see me compete live in a couple of years, so it's really exciting, and I'm just so happy.
Well, it was a big day. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Al?
All right, Andrea, here are the final results. Simone Biles wins it by a mile. Michaela Skinner second. Erica Fasana in third, just edging out Jessica Lopez from Venezuela. Coming up next on NBC, it's the WGC Cadillac Championship. And later tonight, a new era in boxing begins live in prime time. Premier Boxing Champions makes its debut at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, only here on NBC. So there's one champion, Simone Biles the other. For our entire NBC Sports broadcast team, I'm Al Trawick. For Nastia Lukin, Tim Daggett, and Andrea Joyce, goodbye from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, and the 2015 AT&T American Cup.